Today we are in Kalamazoo. We are talking with Andrea LaFontaine and Bob Wilson of the Michigan Trails and Greenway Alliance. And Bob, today we're talking about the Great Lake to Lake Trail, route number 1.
Right.
For people who don't know what that is, what is the route itself?
It's the coolest compilation of 17 existing trails that stretch from South Haven to Port Huron. Over 275 miles of trails that we've worked with trail managers from one side of the state to the other to cobble together into this great destination trail. So literally, people who ride that trail, Eric, will be able to dip their wheel in Lake Michigan one day, and then 6 days later, dip that same wheel in Lake Huron.
Because you guys have these navigation buoys that they'll be able to touch into, right?
We are the only trail organization in the entire country that owns two 30-foot navigational buoys, and we're creating them into trailhead markers, one in South Haven and the other in Port Huron, that are great images for starting and beginning and ending the trail.
Andrea, with 17 trails that we're trying to cobble together, to use Bob's word, I imagine there's quite a bit of logistics. Can you talk about that process?
Sure. So my role as the Great Lake to Lake Route 1 Trail Ambassador is to go out and work with the communities from Port Huron to South Haven, work with the county government, the local government, the individuals themselves that live within the communities, and really promote the mission of Great Lake to Lake Route 1. And really we want to engage locals, and we want them to be a part of it, because we realize that we want to connect people to nature, connect people to each other, and we can do all of this through our work with trails.
Bob, who is this ride designed for? It's 6 days, it traverses the whole state, it happens in mid to late September. Who should be doing this?
September 13th through the 18th, starts in South Haven on the 13th, finishes up in Port Huron on the 18th, and would design the ride in such a way so the average bike rider, someone who can handle 35 to 45 miles a day, should be able to complete this ride. So just your average rider, you don't have to necessarily train all summer for this or all spring. You should be able to ride comfortably from one side of the state to the other.
Bob, we were talking earlier about the military veterans.
Yes.
And how you guys are using this as an opportunity to reach out to that community.
Yeah, you know, it's really important that we recognize military veterans in the state. They've sacrificed their time and their effort and their livelihoods many times for the people in this country. So we've made a special designation to every military veteran who wants to ride this ride is going to get $100 off the registration fee. So we're welcoming that community to be part of this ride.
So I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you guys, what's the future of all this, right? You're launching route number 1, but what's next?
Where we want to head next is to continue to build those relationships with Andrea's work, to continue to strengthen the ties that bond all the trail managers together and their individual trails. And then we want to continue to focus on history telling. And there's a cool new water program that the DNR and our organization has recently launched, a designated series of water trails that we want to tie into the Great Lake to Lake Trail Route 1. We see the future of trails in Michigan is this interconnected system of trails that link one part of the state to the other.